Oh, beautiful Venezia. Today we're going to wander around this gorgeous city, specifically heading towards the old Jewish ghetto area, which I heard has the most vibrant local life in Venice right now. So let's walk around, enjoy the beautiful views of Venice. Let me know where you're watching from. My name is Ariel and this is Urbanist. Right now, of course, we're starting with the views of the gondolas. And we're right here by a hotel. Hello, Loop. Hello, Rebecca. Rebecca says shalom. Shalom to you too. We're going to the Jewish area. Though one section of the Jews come from Italy and another one comes from the Sephardic Spanish/Portuguese. So for any Jewish viewers out there, let me know, is shalom used in those two sections of Jewish communities? We're right now not yet at the Jewish ghetto. We're about 15-minute walk away. Hey Matt, hello Abin, hello Ronald, nice to see her, kumusta ka? Hello Susie, hello SJ, hello the teacher, hello Rebecca, nice to see you here, welcome. Hey, Justin says, good celestial rays, mazel tov. Hey, Justin, nice to see you here. I'm glad that a lot of people are getting into the Jewish spirit. There's about 400 Jewish people who still live here in Venice. But aside from the 400, give or take, there's still vibrant local life in the old Jewish ghetto. So let's walk towards that direction, kind of see the contrast between more of the touristy area, which we're in right now, with more of the local life. But before I continue, I have some business to take care of. There is a new Urbanist Postcard Club. If you are a mega Urbanist, meaning that you are contributing more than $20 per month on Patreon or YT memberships, you have the option to receive a postcard directly sent from me from various locations around the world and the US. I put those two as different categories. So I have 3 of them all written inside this book, and I'm going to send it right now. It's all set up and one fell down. So I'm gonna do that and send it right away to parts abroad, to the mega urbanists out there. And right here is the little mailbox thingy, so bear with me for a few seconds. So I won't show you the back sides to protect the privacy, but here are the 3 postcards. 3 more. We've been having a lot of super urbanists join in. Written over a cup of coffee in a beautiful square here in Venice. And I'm gonna chuck it in right here. And they are off to 3 amazing mega urbanists. Thank you so much for being a mega urbanist, and more to come for the other mega urbanists out there from other parts here in beautiful Italy. Let's continue walking around. So the book I have in my back pocket is Secret Venice. It's one of the resources I use for this trip. I couldn't use it as extensively as I hoped to do so. I love this book series. I use it quite a lot. But I highly recommend it. Secret Venice. I actually have another book in my bag, which I'll show you later. Justin says, really a postcard club? Yes, for mega urbanists. $20 or above on Patreon or YT. Avon says, wow. Hey, Nick. How you doing? Hey, Leon from Brazil. Oi, tudo bem? So we're going to continue along this main way. I just wanted to point out, if you need a SIM card, in general, these are the places to get SIM cards. It's Wintray is one of the top companies here. People might pronounce it here Wintray. And this guy's about to approach me. Nope. Be careful of those scammers. They have little bracelets and initially, and then once they put the bracelet on you, they start demanding money, and they are not so friendly. And if you give them like €1, they'll demand more. If you give them €5, they'll demand more. Probably until you give them 20. Beautiful shirts here, wow. So let me know if you are on team like right now. Slam that like button. Let me show you the views over here. As we make to our destination, the Jewish ghetto. This area has quite a lot of history to it, says Dwayne. There's history everywhere, yeah. Dwayne, everywhere here in Venice, there is history. It's hard to really pick a specific place. Here's a gondolier waiting for some business. And you can get traghetto. Maybe a little bit later I'll show you the traghetto. The traghetto is basically a gondola that you share with other people, and it takes you across the Grand Canal or across one of the larger waterways. Right here, you can just go across. And this is a hotel. So let's sit down here for just a little bit. I'm gonna sit down for just a few seconds so I can show you a map of where we are. And it's not just any map. It's a custom-made map from a lovely couple who are architects or involved in architecture. And they decided to open up a gift shop with not hand-drawn, but personally made maps that they made themselves. And also postcards, which I have back at my B&B. But this is the map. I was so stunned that they ended up making a map that I really want to show you and kind of incorporate into this live video. So let's orient ourselves in Venice. And where does the term orient comes from? Well, it actually comes from maps. The very first maps that were made used a reference point, which was the Orient, which was Far East. Not so Far East as China, but Far East more at that time was like kind of Syria or Turkey or Georgia, more around those points. Or if you were more in the Hellenic world, it might be all the way to India. That was the Orient. So you would orient yourself. So let's check out this map. Venezia, this was made by Studio Saor. That's the name of the couple who are architects slash illustrators. This is Venice. Okay, this is gonna fly away, so let me grab books to hunker it down. One book, possible for a drone here. Yeah, second book. This is the other book I end up buying, Venice, the Grand Canal. And we'll use this. I didn't manage to use it because there's a lot here to cover in Venice. I did not realize it was going to be so jam-packed with history. So this would have been a very good book to use, but I barely used it. How can I take this map, says Han. I will link to their website. I'm not sure if they sell it online, but I will link to their website. They're a lovely couple. I'll see if they sell it online. Okay, so here we are. So we are in the fish. Venice, to a lot of people, say it looks like a huge fish, which we can see right here. So it looks like a huge fish, and we see the tails right here, and we have the fish head right over here, and the Grand Canal is almost like the intestine of the fish. So we are here right by the Grand Canal, and we're going soon across one of the bridges to continue here towards the Jewish ghetto. The Jewish ghetto used to be in an area filled with factories, hence why it was built there. It was the poorest, most undesirable land in all of Venice. But right now we're a little bit further down. We're in this area over here, and we're walking along the Grand Canal. Houses, and that's why this book has come. Be good use if it would stay here a little bit longer to learn all the stories of the different palazzos. Now we don't see Burano and Murano because Burano and Murano are far up. This should be Lido, Lido right here, and then San Marco is right over here. That's the piazza right over here. So let's zoom in. That's the piazza. So our goal is to get from here all the way to over here. Not a pretty big goal. Pretty easy. That's why I rarely use maps. But look how detailed this is. I love how the detail they put into this. Thank you, SF. Okay, so they do sell the maps online. Thank you so much. S Fields, thank you so much. Oh, the link went away. Not sure what happened. Now these are Sistire, I think it might be pronounced. Do let me know how to pronounce them. They're the different neighborhoods in Venice, and there are 6 parts. So main Venice is split into 6 parts. Now later, towards the end of our journey, we're gonna go to the train station. So Venice was connected by mainland in the late 1800s or the mid 1800s. This is what connected Venice to the mainland. Before Venice was disconnected, you had to come here by boat. Now there's a road, a train, and buses, and a bike route that all connect to the island. And this is where it came via train. So look at that map. Now we didn't explore too many areas. We saw yesterday this area briefly. That's where I had some dinner here right by the Rialto bridge. And we explored mostly this area. We explored all the way down here in another live video, and we walked all along the waterfront. This area still remains unexplored, and much of this chunk remains unexplored. So yeah, that's a really, really cool map. Really detailed. Also for a custom-made map, it's amazingly detailed. Don't leave without seeing Lido. I don't have the time. Today's my last day. I simply do not have the capacity to do everything I wanted to do here in Venice. You know, I thought Venice wasn't going to be super jam-packed, but it truly is. So Studio Saor. Studio Saor. All right, so everyone's ready to explore. Actually, let's see if this. Let's see. What's the name of this building? Casagrado Hotel. Casagrado Hotel. Place is here, Casagrado. Might be mispronouncing that. So I'm looking right now in the book and seeing if I can see if this particular building right next to us is featured. But I don't think so. No, it's not. It's not. They don't have every single building here. You're leaving before you hear of all these Four Seasons being played. There's only so much time. I can't do everything. Just like in any city, there is always sacrifices to be made. Let's walk around. Someone's playing a drone. Oh, this couple. I wonder if drones are allowed here. Hey, Columba! Nice to see you here. Tina says, let's take a boat ride. Today, we're doing a lot of land. So, for boat rides, watch the past two videos. We've done a lot of boat rides in the past few days. It's a place called the Coffee Joint. 12 ounce cups. That's funny. Does Venice have a team? I think there is a team called Venezia for football. Do let us know. Oh, we found the only Starbucks in Venice. Look at this. Sorry, not Starbucks. The only McDonald's. I'm thinking too ahead of myself. Hey, Columbus and 50 stars. You must have a meal in that area, says Vita. I'm pretty full, so today, just walking. I'll let everyone know right now, no boats, no food, no jokes, no meetings with locals. No, 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 no. Today is serious. It's a very serious broadcast. We're seriously exploring today. What did I have to eat? I ate 4 chichetti. 4 little Venetian tapas. That was my big lunch with a glass of white wine. And then it says, I'm happy that Ariel ate fettuccine alfredo in Rome. That's a win in my book. Oh, I'm glad that was an excellent recommendation. Really, truly excellent recommendation. I did not think that fettuccine alfredo would be that good. It filled me up for days. But look at this beautiful rooftop garden here. Ocean Angel says, I love watching you eat. Oh, I'm so glad you do. That's awesome to hear. What about Italian cheeses? Do you like it? I do like Italian cheeses, though. They're not... I really like the funk. And Italian cheeses, not too many bring on the funk. For the funk, you gotta go more to England and France. Camila, what's the best dessert I've had? Great question. I would say it's tiramisu. I didn't have it on camera, but I had it somewhere else. Kathy says I would like Irish cheeses. Do they bring on the funk? Only if they bring on the funk, then I may enjoy it. The carbonara Ariel at the Michelin restaurant is Mamma Mia. Which one are you referring to, Ruel? Klaus says tiramisu is always a win. Oh yes, can't go wrong with a good tiramisu. Dean is dead serious. Yes, team. This is a serious broadcast. We're not being distracted by the frivolous parts of life here. People need to pay for parking on the boat? I don't know. That's a good question. That is a good question. There are rules to the road, so to speak, the canals. The big boats have to give, the smaller boats have to give right away to the motorized boats. So gondolas have to give right away to the motor boats. And then I think there's particular directions, canals you can go. Here's COP or Co-op, the supermarket of Italy. Lots of great goods there if you want to cook more at home. Unlike an American supermarket, things there tend to be more local and fresh. It's almost like a more commercial farmer's market. Ginny says, what's the funk? With cheeses, I love the funky taste. There's not really any other way to describe it, but if you had a good blue cheese, that's a funky cheese. So for me, cheeses that bring on the funk are the best cheeses. Here in Italy, there's not really a good funk cheese culture. It's more of a light cheese culture. What US city has these many canals? Great question, Adam. There's a little Venice in Long Beach, Long Island, but by no ways it looks as much like this. There is also Venice Beach in Los Angeles, which is carved by canals. Gorgonzola. Oh yeah, Dean, I haven't had enough gorgonzola here. Hey, you coming back home, Yogi? One day I will. One day I will return to my homeland. A changed man. A man who has forgotten the beauty of his hometown. To see everything change. One day I'll be back. Please try Fontina cheese for the funk, says Camila. Okay, thank you, Camila. Let's go back to the treasure hunt. Oh yes. Where is the Jewish ghetto? We will find it. One way or another. I will find you. I will get you, get you, get you. A modern building here in Venice, what? Or is this being restored? Camila says, I'm your culinary guide to Italy. Well, if I see Fontina cheese on this walk, then we'll drop by and taste it. Julio says that's a song. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Julio. Looking for some bridges. That is often where the Jews were forced to work. Well, there's bridges everywhere in Venice, so we are not going to be lacking any bridges. Ooh, here's a leaning tower. We found another leaning tower. This is the Leaning Tower of Venice. This was not leaning as much as the one from Burano yesterday. Were the Italians as anti-Semitic as the Germans? Ooh. Oh, those two boats are emitting so much gasoline. Oh my god. Oh, whoa. That boat is not gonna last much longer. I'm feeling a little bit dizzy. I think I've seen winged lions. And no, I'm not talking about the flag of Venice. Ooh. Do you need tickets to go up to the top of the Leaning Tower of Venice? I don't think you could go up this particular tower. There's at least 8 leaning towers in all of Italy. We already saw 2 on these journeys. This one in Venice and the one in Burano. And before I showed the one in Pisa. Pizza. Here's Paolo Sapri. Don't know who he is. Looks like a stern fellow. Here's a place to grab a good spritz and to take a nice swim afterwards. Paolo Sapri was a Venetian historian. Thank you so much, S. Fields. So, a historian. So you may have noticed one thing as we've been walking around Venice, and I may have not have gone deep into history on this particular trip, but you may have noticed there's not that many famous Venetians, especially politicians or people who were rulers Maybe a Rico Dandolo, which I mentioned a few broadcasts ago, the man who invaded Constantinople. One of the few doges, the rulers who were famous. In Venice culture, there wasn't really a culture of kind of being too big. There was no Julius Caesars. There were no, what's a good equivalent? Give me another powerful ruler. There was no Genghis Khans, of course. Give me a good modern day equivalent, because there's good modern day equivalents of, or past century. You know, these larger than life characters that really became so popular that they end up taking mass amounts of control really didn't happen here in Venice. So that's why you have statues of a historian rather than of a Julius Caesar-like character. You don't see too many statues of doges. You see a statue of a historian. That's fascinating. You don't see a statue of Suetonius in ancient Rome, but here they do. Or say, name a famous historian in the U.S. Let me know a famous historian in the U.S. That you never see that in the U.S. That's so interesting. Renee, so the Doge, there was only really one big Doge, and that was Enrico Dandolo, the blind Doge, who took over Constantinople. Otherwise, you'll be hard-pressed to name big ones. Oh, Thomas Jefferson's, or Alexander Hamilton's, or John F. Kennedy's, or Richard Nixon's of the Doge world. Renee, look up Savonarola. Yes, I made an entire broadcast about him. Check him out. It's in the Florence episode. He was not famous in Venice. I'm not sure if he's Venetian, but he was based in Florence. Okay, so pro tip, if you're coming to Venice soon, don't worry about using maps, but you can buy that map from the architectural couple, which are really cool. Studio Sal. Otherwise, there are these arrows everywhere. They always announce the main sites. And per Rialto means this way to Rialto, the Rialto Bridge. As long as you know the main landmarks, you'll be okay. You'll easily navigate. You won't get too lost. And don't worry, you're on an island. You're not going to end up off the island unless if you go for a swim. So get lost here in Venice. As Fields. I'm not talking about a great ruler. I'm talking about someone who made was known either for good reasons or bad reasons. Was famous or infamous. Not that many doges can claim either. Oh, here we are. So for a little while in Venice, the Freemasons had their mark over here, continuing the lineage of the Templars. Of course, not directly. And this is the Freemason Church. Here we have the all-seeing eye. And no, this is not conspiracy. It's literally a Freemason church. Quite literally. Let me know what it translates this to. Wow. So for some reason, the Freemasons had a mark here for a few decades, and then they just disappeared. And no one knows why. They just disappeared. There was really no word about them, they never held high positions. And it's interesting because in the UK, Freemasons were outright hunted down through certain periods of English history. Here, there's not that much that you can really read about, at least not so easily. So I wonder what happened to these Freemasons. They built such a huge temple and not much more is known about the ones here in Venice. But there's one thing. There's a connection of the Freemasons of Venice with the US. So when the US was rebelling against the English Empire, the British Empire, they end up reaching out to the Venetians and asking them of any pro tips of how to run a republic. A republic is a representative democracy. And the reason they reached out to the Venetians and probably had connections here was because the Venetians were one of the few republics that lasted centuries. Right now, America is in the running to, at some point, surpass the Venetians, but we still have like 200 years more to see if we can surpass the Venetians. What brought down the Venetian Republic? Well, that was no other than Napoleon himself. And when Napoleon brought down the Republic, the entire city went into riots. People were pissed off that somehow they let this republic die due to some emperor from France. And the French end up squashing that rebellion, and the very last cannon shot was shot from the Rialto bridge here in Venice. Since then, there really hasn't seen that much war in this area. Sandy says Casanova was a Freemason? Was he? That's cool. I would not be surprised. Kathy, thank you so much for the 310 stars. And the Dutch cat giving them the cold shoulder. To America? Yeah, I think so, yeah. Dutch aren't so friendly. Have we spoken about Marco Polo? Ooh, not much. We briefly saw his house on the gondola ride. Not much. I guess when I go to Mongolia, I'll talk about Marco Polo. There's a haunted hit story about Marco Polo here, if you guys want to hear it. I'm not sure if I'll be able to show you his house on this walk. But if you want to hear a haunted story, do let me know. So the house is pretty far away. Axie says, let's hear it. Kay says, haunted history plays. Marco Polo. He was a Venetian explorer and he ventured all the way out east. When he was out east, he ended up cavorting with the emperor of the Mongolian Empire, Kublai Khan. But also, he ended up meeting an empress, a daughter of an emperor in China, in northern China. And he fell deeply, deeply in love. This princess ended up moving with Marco Polo back to Venice, according to some accounts. They ended up coming back here, and this princess was from northern China. She didn't know anything about the West, let alone Italy, let alone Venice. So when she came here, she found herself super lonely. She had no idea what to do. She felt herself left out. She didn't know the language. She didn't know the people. She didn't know the culture. She stuck out because obviously she did not look like she was from here. And remember, in Venice, even though they traded between East and West, there weren't Chinese people. There's only 2 or 3 accounts of Chinese explorers coming here, but not else that much. So it was something very interesting. So she spent the rest of her days lost and confused, and Marco Polo ended up dying. And because she was so lost, she had no family here, she also ended up passing away shortly thereafter. To this day, people say that they hear a woman dressed in beautiful Chinese robes venturing the streets of Venice, lost. She appears on rainy days when it's foggy and they see the umbrella sticking out through the fog. There was excavations done on the Marco Polo house, which is about a 10-minute walk away, the opposite way we're going. And they end up finding out bones of a woman buried underneath the house. I don't know for sure, don't quote me on this, but apparently they found out that the bones belonged to an Asian woman. And they did date it back to Marco Polo's time. Was that the real life wife / Chinese princess of Marco Polo? Or was it simply some other person? Who knows? If you see a woman walking around with an umbrella late at night in Chinese robes, well, maybe it's not a tourist. Maybe it's Marco Polo's wife wandering these streets looking for some connection.
Yeah.
Syl says, I think she was floating behind you. She heard the story. Axie says, good one. Apparently the girl was one of the daughters of the great Khan. Yep, that's what some versions of the story say. Another versions say she was a princess from the steppes region or from China. So now we are entering the area of the former Jewish ghetto. This area now looks nice. There's a lot of shops, there's gonna be a lot of cafes. The waters seem as clean as everywhere else, or the same color as everywhere else. But this used to be one of the worst areas to be in Venice, because just around this neighborhood, it was completely surrounded by factories. As I mentioned, Venice was a proto-industrial power. Before England, London, before New York, before parts of France, this was the industrial hub of the world. And thus, this was covered in soot, smoke, grime, and grit. The air was thick. Rats covered the streets. Plagues would hit the populace ever so often. The buildings were crumbling down because they were not well maintained. And the Jews that were forced to live here couldn't own their own property. Here we have a beautiful theater. Look at this. It's now this theater, I can't go inside because they don't allow filming, but this theater is now a supermarket. And they maintain the theater inside the supermarket. Oh, I so wish I can go in, but look at these supermarkets. They have big signs that say no photography or videography. Shalom, Dean. La Teatra della Mangia, says B. Griffin. Yeah, Manja, yeah. The theater of eating. We got pastry shops here. Oh, are we gonna start seeing Jewish pastries? Because I think there's a few. Janice, shalom, welcome. How cool, the old Jewish ghetto. Yes, says Mona, this is the Jewish ghetto. Now, there were a few distinct groups of Jews that lived here. Unlike in Rome, where most of the Jews came from 2,000 years ago, here was different. This was a very cosmopolitan city. So you can think of the Jewish population of Venice being similar to the one of New York. It was a combination of almost the same makeup of the one in New York, except it had a few more. There was the Sephardic Jews that were Spanish and Portuguese Jews escaping from the Spanish Inquisition. So they came here during the 1400s, late 1300s, because the Spanish Inquisition wasn't only targeting Islamic people, but it was also targeting Jewish people. And then you had the Ashkenazi and the German Jews, and you also had the Roman Jews. And the Roman Jews, while they weren't so horribly oppressed in Rome, their ability to grow, to run businesses, to move was severely limited. So they decided to move out here to Venice, where at least they can start having some business. And you had all that combination that you have other Jews coming in from other parts of Europe, as someone just mentioned, Polish Jews coming in. Probably some Greek Jews have also came here as well, because there was a lot of trade with Thessaloniki, which we visited before. Definitely have arugula pastry. Yeah, I wonder if they have arugula. Hey Lorraine, nice to see you here. Welcome. Nice to see you here. The Jewish diaspora is vast, says Justin. Yep. I mean, there was Jewish communities even in China. I'm not sure if they're still existing or if there's remnants of it, but yep, there were Jewish communities even in China. Now, you might notice that the buildings here start getting a little bit higher. They're a little bit higher because, as I mentioned, the Jews could not own property. They can conduct some business, which was dealing with money, which was a big no-no for many Christians, to deal with money and to lend money on interest. It was a very big thing not to do if you were a Christian person. For example, in Dante's Inferno, there was a circle of hell for money lenders. I don't think he was specifically targeting the Jewish community, but I just think Dante Alighieri did not like people who were bankers. However, the buildings are high. Since they couldn't own property, they had to rent it. And in order to have more property to rent, they built a little bit higher than the rest of Venice. Frankie says money is the root of all evil. Well, I don't agree with Dante. I wouldn't say moneylenders are that bad. So it's not that bad, Dante. They don't need to. A banker does not need to burn in an internal fiery pit of hell for lending some money. Like, come on, come on. Artune, thank you so much, Artune. Arntrude, thank you so much for the stars. Loving the architectural style. Yeah, me too. David says, I like your laugh. Well, thank you so much, David. I do my best. I want to shout out to AR, who's so kind enough to give so many super chats. AR, hope you're tuning in. Hope you watch the replay. Thank you so much for watching. Now here we're gonna see a little bit more local life. There's a lot of restaurants and shops all around here. But first, before we venture too far, let's go to the main Jewish synagogues. Do they have Jewish places of worship? Oh, yes, they do. Stay tuned. Still, that's a great question because there's a square with 5 different places to worship, and they're not so obvious. So we're heading there right now. Have you seen any Orthodox Jews walking around? No, Mona, no Orthodox Jews. I may have seen a few Jewish families who were wearing the yarmulke, but that was probably the maximum extent. Oh, look at this graffiti, street art. Who's this guy? We talked about him in Rome. Oh, it's so cool that they have him here. Oh, I wish I would have made a TikTok video about him. I did not spend enough time in Rome. Savonarola? No, he was from Florence, so no, this is not Savonarola. I don't think it's supposed to be him. I think it's supposed to be the one from Rome. Not Diogenes, no. Trulio says Assassin's Creed. I think the guy from Rome was the original inspiration for Assassin's Creed. Oh, this is a famous chichetti place. So this is a famous chichetti place where people can sit on the boats. Right here. And this is the place. Osteria. Okay, so it was quite a wait. This place is very popular. If you see a full place in Italy, especially if you hear a lot of local languages as well, like Italian being spoken here, I would recommend just stepping in, especially a chichetti place. You don't need to really spend too much money. Each of the chichetti here is €1. Other parts of Venice, I spent €350 for each of the chichetti. This is way less expensive and it seems way better quality. And someone mentioned gorgonzola, and I found gorgonzola. So we're having some gorgonzola, we're having some ricotta cheese, so we're having some cheeses as well. All right, let me show you the chichetti. The name of the place is called Timon, like Timon and Pumbaa, which the woman was telling me about behind the counter, but not because of the Lion King, it's because it's a huge piece of the boat. So the popular part of this place is also because you can sit on the boats. Over here. Morgan, thank you so much. Beautiful. I'm so glad you're enjoying it. So look at this. So we have sardine, bacala, codfish. We have ricotta with some sun-dried tomato. We have this cheese. I think this might be a fontina cheese. And we have the gorgonzola right here, the gorgonzola. €5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. €5, €1 each, not $3.50. So way less expensive. And this was $3.50. This was an unfiltered beer on draft. And I love my unfiltered beers. So without further ado, let's try it out. Let's see how it is here in Timon. Not to be confused with Pumbaa. Yum, says Miss Lob. Oh yes, yum indeed. I had to step in. I did not intend on making a food stop, but this place looks so good that I had to step in. That's a good place for a beer, yeah, right by the seashore. Now, right by the canal, one thing to keep in mind, I have mistakenly said in previous broadcasts that you can sit down and eat. Beware, picnicking is strictly not allowed in Venice. I don't know if they enforce it. Just if you are eating, don't lay out a picnic blanket. You might get fined. Otherwise, it's up to you what you do. But just know that I read that picnicking is not allowed. But I'm technically standing, so I don't think it'll matter. And don't sit on church steps, I heard as well. So let's try the chichetti. First, let's try the cheeses before we go into the sardine. So this is the one we had yesterday or the day before, and that one will look very poor. We tried two chichetti places 2 days ago. The first one was just like, or as the Italians like to say, well, it's like the American equivalent of meh. But this one looks a lot better. Let's try it out. This is a jam with some cheese. Great combination with the jam. The jam is not slimy like that other place we tried. That other place charged me €250 for this, and it was a very weird slimy jam. The cheese looked a little bit too old, and that was €250. And this is only €1. It's way better, way better. So I'm getting the feeling that this part of the Jewish ghetto area, former Jewish ghetto area, is more kind of the East Village of Venice. So the cheese is subtle. Very subtle cheese. Combines well with the jam, which tastes like apricot, but I'm not 100% sure if it's apricot. It tastes like apricot. and it's really great combination. Cheese and jam, absolutely love that combo, and I have a bee who wants a piece of my shirt. Bees love chichetti too. Oh, and they like beer too. Bee, you can go away now if you want to continue eating. Bee, you're interrupting the broadcast. All right, the bee went away. Hope you haven't gotten the gimbal balance on your bridge. I do, but I have a lot of space here. Hey, Mona is leaving $15 super chat. Thank you so much, Mona. Mona has been so kind, giving $15 super chat. Thank you so much. All right, let's go on to the next. This one probably won't be so overwhelming either. Actually, this one should be a good way to end, because this is ricotta or ricotta. Let's try the blue cheese next. Let's go directly into the funk. This is the gorgonzola. Everyone give hearts to Mona. Mona has sponsored this meal. Mona is sponsoring this chichetti break. If you don't know what chichettis are, it's basically Venetian tapas, what we're eating. Gorgonzola. Someone mentioned try gorgonzola or try and go gorgonzola. Wow. That's a cheese. Oh my god. That cheese. Whoa. Ooh. I could taste the grass that the cows grazed on. That is a very flavorful cheese. I wouldn't say it's funky. I would say it's more bright, like the cheeses I tried in Friuli. Very bright, kind of an earthy taste to it. The aftertaste, there's a nice little hint of funk. Is it pungent? A light aftertaste of funk. It's a very bright cheese. Yeah, that's a very interesting cheese. Yeah, if you like strong cheeses, try the gorgonzola. I definitely need a swig of beer after this. Oh my god. All right, everyone, do not go to chicchetti's in the tourist area of Venice. Just walk here for 10 minutes. You're gonna save yourself money, and you're gonna have, oh my god, this beer is way better. Way better. Not hoppy. No, not hoppy. Slightly hoppy. It's slightly hoppy. Yeah, it's slightly bitter. Has a more kind of a thick taste to it. It's unfiltered, so it's kind of a more... Also has just a little bit of funk. Next up, bacala. So let's see if this bacalao in Spanish, or cod fish in English. Let's see if it matches up to the one yesterday. This one looks a little bit fresher. Look how white this one is. What's the name of this chichetti? I don't know the names of the chichetti. Chichettis it's not really like a name thing. They're basic. It's like tapas. There's basic tapas. You point at which one you want. You don't need to know the name. Remember Fontina? Yeah, Fontina, I haven't bumped into it, but Camilla, if I bump into it, I'll try it out. Reminds me of whitefish. Yep, it's a bacalao, but it looks really, really good quality. And look how white this is. Let's try this out. Oh wow. That's a bacalao. It's very, 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 very strong, very flavorful. Very flavorful bacalao or bacala. Very creamy. Very good. Has a good aftertaste to it. Oh, the bee is back. The bee wants a little bit more food. I got 2 more. Let's try a bite of this sardine. Sardine with some onions. All right, let me know if you like sardine. It's a good sardine. Wow. Wow. Who made this sardine good? It tastes it's not funky. It's not salty. It's very kind of light in taste. That's a good sardine. And why is there crisscross patterns in the sky? Chemtrails? It's a nice sardine. Wow, very perfectly balanced sardine. Especially with the onions, makes it very nice combination. All right. To end, mind the bones. Yeah, there's bones in there. To end, let's try the ricotta, which I think is almost like a dessert in terms of chichetti. And don't like sardines, says Ava. Oh no. If you're not usually a fan of sardines, then maybe try these ones because they don't taste like your normal sardine. All right, let's try this out. The red pepper, roasted tomato or red pepper, one of those two. I think this is a roasted red pepper with some ricotta cheese. Oh yeah. That's a great way to end the meal. The red pepper, great combination with the ricotta, which is so fluffy. So deeply fluffy. Wow. This truly tastes like biting into clouds. Oh my God, highly recommend this ricotta. And so it's a very light taste, very relaxed. This taste is kind of a gondola ride. While that gorgonzola was the water taxi, this is the gondola ride. It's nice, relaxed. Cheese. Super fluffy. Way fluffier than I've had in the US. Delicious. Camilla says no, moussaka is good. Moussaka is from Greece. Someone said try risotto. I'm not going to try risotto on this trip. Too late for that. Already had too much food. The live stream is so cheesy. Indeed it is. Oh, we see the female gondolier right here. Mira says, why don't you sit down and enjoy it? It's too full. There's no seats. All right, everyone, I highly recommend going to Timon right here in this old Jewish ghetto area. Let me know what's the name of the neighborhood. Highly recommend it. It's really excellent and really great price. €1 per chichetti. And the beer was only €3.50. So I'd spend total €8.50. Thank you, S Fields, for putting in the address, web address. And now let's make our way to this other bridge over here. Daniel, which mobile network am I using? Right now I'm using Windtre. W-I-N-D-T-R-E. Windtre. Go find a lovely gelato. Yes. Or the Jewish baked goods as well. Stay tuned. I gotta find a place to throw this away.
No problem. Hey, you drink, sir?
There's a cannabis store. Dr. Green. Someone left a $10 super chat. Hey. Hey, Anthony. Thank you so much for tuning in. Anthony says, how do you feel traveling from the US? Very calm. It's very easy to travel, at least to Greece. I came over to Italy from Greece, so I don't have experience coming directly to here. I think Italy requires a COVID test to get here, aside from proof of vaccination. But I really loved it, and I wonder how anxiety inducing it would be. Italy, once you're inside the country, don't worry, taking the test is very easy. At least from my perspective, I took it from going from Mexico to the US. Once you get here, it'll be very easy. If you're vaccinated, you're gonna have a much easier time. I'm not trying to impose any opinions on what you should do medically. I'm just saying that as someone who decided to get vaccinated and having the vaccination pass, it has made it a lot easier to travel around here in Italy because there's something called the Green Pass. So just make sure you have your CDC card, official CDC card with the CDC logo on it, and laminate it. And I recommend laminating it because so it doesn't get damaged while you're here. It'll be a lot trickier for you. And always carry it around with you, regardless if you're going to museums, restaurants. Always carry it around with you. garbage cans here. Oh, that sucks. Will they accept a picture of the card? I would recommend against it. They may not. I would recommend against having just a picture. I have seen people get denied because they just have a picture on their phone. If you're from America, if you're from Europe, then you have to get it via the app. Pro tip, you can get it copied and laminate that. And no one can tell because the CDC card is black and white. Of course, you're not deceiving anyone. You still are indeed vaccinated. Please don't forge anything. But you can do a copy and laminate that. So you have your real copy always with you or in your bag at your B&B or / hotel. So you always have a backup or print various backups or laminate various backups. And there we go. You're a lot better that way. Ava says I'm close to the Jewish Museum. Indeed I am close to the Jewish Museum. So yeah, we are right by the Jewish Ghetto Museum, and we have a synagogue. You have the Jewish Cultural Center in one of these buildings. And then let's make our way towards the synagogue. Synagogue should be in one of these buildings. Let's go around here. So the museum is closed, and this was the temporary entry. Looks like a century old. No, just way more than that. Way more than a century old. A few people are saying you also need identification. Yes. So your driver's license is enough to confirm your name and your birthday. A driver's license is enough. You can also use your passport, or I think you can use your passport card. I only have experience with my driver's license, and it's always been accepted. A few people saying do not laminate your card because of booster shots. Okay, then you be the judge. Hey, Nancy says, you look Italian. I'm watching you from Argentina. Oh, bienvenidos a Argentina. Hey, everyone. Let's not discuss personal opinions or medical discussions on the vaccination. Only in the context of travel. This is not a channel about discussing whether you should or shouldn't. This is not the channel whether discussing whether it is valid or not valid, whether it's needed or not needed. Not for that. Only in the context of travel, and purely in the context of travel, you need it to get into museums. There's no other way around this except if you take a COVID test, and you have to do it every 48 hours. That's the only two options. If you disagree with that, then you might need to go to another country. And that's okay, because that's the beauty about our world. There's a lot of options out there. You can go to Mexico. There's a lot of other countries out there where you can go and not need to show a green pass. And if you really want to go to Italy, but you're also really against any type of medical measures, then you're screwed, unfortunately. So my personal belief, especially with travel, is don't resist. Go with the path of least resistance. If a country is much easier for you at the moment, regardless of your position, just go to that place rather than try to say, oh no, I can't go to this place. You can scream at the heavens all you want, but it's not gonna really help out too much. So I would say go to the places that are a little bit easier. Janice, thank you so much for 50 stars. I appreciate you. This. Wow, one of the very few modern buildings you'll see here. Modern, I mean like the past like 50 or 60 years. Matt, am I going to live stream tomorrow? Nope. No live stream tomorrow. Stay tuned. Is this gelato? Oh, this is Majer. This is like their Starbucks. This is like the Starbucks of... Are we going to the Ghost Island? No, there's no real way to get to the Ghost Island, I think. Look how beautiful this is. Adam, thank you so much for tuning in. All right, I gotta go to. Let me grab an espresso and throw this away. Or let me see the gelato here. Let's see. So service went out exactly when I was drinking espresso. But yeah, so here we see how tall these buildings get. And remember, this was built before the age of elevators. So unfortunately, the people here who were relegated to be inside the Jewish ghetto had to climb up all these stairs to get up to their apartment. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stories here. 7 stories, look at that. And this one is one more story, 8 stories on this one. And inside here, hidden into these places, are the different synagogues. So here we have La Scuola Levantina, the Levantine school, Levantine school of the Jewish community of Venice. That's what it's, something along those lines. There are 6-floor walk-ups in New York City, yeah. But it's rare to see them this early in history. So here are all the different Jewish synagogues, and they couldn't build new structures. So this is one of the Jewish synagogues right here. To visit the synagogues, you're kindly requested to apply to the Jewish Museum. So you have to go into the Jewish Museum, which is currently closed. So no, you can't go into the synagogues. You have to go through the Jewish Museum. Jewish Museum is currently closed. And even then, probably limited hours. It's the case. It's unfortunately the case with a lot of synagogues. They're really hard to get into. But these synagogues were not built in the way that most other synagogues would be built in, like in New York, or of course in Israel, or even the more newer synagogues of the 1800s in Rome. And the reason they're not built this way was because they couldn't own land. So they had to build within existing structures, and they couldn't make it too obvious that they were building a synagogue. They couldn't offend the Christian sensibility. And that's why these synagogues are very plain. So yeah, it doesn't really stick out as a synagogue. It just looks like any random building. It looks like maybe a school or some type of governmental building. Shield says, I petition Ariel to stay for another month in Italy. Hey everyone, no chatting about other live streams. I get it, you enjoy other people's live streams. That's awesome. Chat on their live stream. Over here, chat about Venice, about travel, about whatever we're covering at the moment. No chats about other live streams. Or these buildings occupied. So yes, they are Inspire Life. People are still living here. There's only 400 Jews around there that live in Venice currently. A lot of the Jewish population was decimated during World War II. Now, when did the Jewish ghetto end? As I mentioned before, the last cannon shot from the Rialto bridge was when Napoleon invaded Venice. Napoleon, as part of his new rule over Venice, outlawed any anti-Semitic separation. So you could not have no more ghettos, you couldn't have any separation between Jewish neighborhoods and Christian neighborhoods. Napoleon strictly did not allow that. So he opened up all the gates to the Jewish ghetto, allowed Jews to move around about the city, and that brought an end to this closed off neighborhood. However, that neighborhood kept on thriving until World War II, and you know what happened then. Unfortunately, like cities like Thessaloniki, those populations were decimated, or if they were lucky to escape, they went abroad and they might have gone to places like New York or South America, which is such a shame. Steel drums performance. And we have the reincarnated soul of Napoleon. I love Ariel's historical chats. Can you ask where the curator lives? He may desire cash donation for the order. Morgan, I don't know who to ask. There's no one really here. But let me point out the name. Maybe you can find out information of the name online. Which place would you like to know? Here's one. This is Bet Mirage Lusato. Look who we found again. Dandolito. This is the reincarnated soul of the blind doge, Enrico Dandolito. He's hanging out with his fellow ruler, Napoleon. Let's zoom in over here. Oh, there's a marker here for during World War II. Muchos gatos callejeros en Venecia. Entonces es raro, nosotros estamos mirando mucho ahora, pero generalmente no hay tantos gatos callejeros. Y estos gatos yo creo que son de las tiendas alrededores. So these cats are, it's very rare. There's not that many wild cats, stray cats here in Venice. I think the cats that we're seeing are actually of the stores nearby, because this cat has a collar. Oh, have I stopped by Libreria Acqua Alta? Oh, Maisie, I don't have the time. I think they're closed by now, but yeah, unfortunately I don't. I'm heading off tomorrow to some other place, someplace, somewhere. There's things where I'm going, and there's people, and there's some structures in this new location. So yeah, unfortunately I don't have time. And yeah, this seems to be a marker of World War II. It's people who lost their lives. If anyone can translate, do let me know. Is there water where you're going? Oh, B. Griffin, I can't reveal that much. That's pushing the limit. BA says stand on. Shh, no spoilers. That was really cool. I wish I can go into the synagogues, but no. Fortunately, they're closed. Christina is right. You have to tune in to find out. Oh yes, these are nice. I like this artwork. Colorful cubes. I like colorful cubes. It's mentioning the number of Venetian Jews and Italian Jews lost and murdered. Oh yeah. Does it have a rich history? Oh, I cannot reveal that much. But yes, Providencetown does have a rich history in Rhode Island. Oh, Harmony Destiny. Principe Valerio Pignatelli, the valiant Prince Pignatelli. Pignatelli. Ghettos of Venice. This is a beautiful artwork. Look at this. So it says it is the 29th of March, 1516. We are in Venice, the Senate of the Serenissima Republic, the most serene republic. Jews must live together in the court of houses, located in the Ghetto near St. Jerome. In order to prevent them from going out at the night, 2 gates shall be built on the side of the old Ghetto. We'll see those gates soon, I think, where there is a small bridge. And the reason they built the Ghetto here was because only 2 bridges had access to it originally, so it was easy to close down. One then on each side. These gates are opened in the morning to the sound of the marangona and closed at midnight by 4 Christian guards. And a little aside, the Jewish people had to actually pay the salaries of these Christian guards. So and they were paid by the Jews themselves. Okay, so it says there, according to the reasonable amount determined by the council. This is the beginning of the legendary history. The Ghetto will become a tenacious symbol. This is the scene of the most serene republic. The date, March 29th, 1516. Wow. That's amazing. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, I'm coming back here. Do they have postcards? Oh, they do have postcards.
Ça c'est classe.
Mondrian.
Queste 2 teste, sì.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
Very beautiful cards.
Yeah,
C'erano anche Miriam. C'erano anche se
funny artistic hats.
What? Cats, yes.
In total 23 cats.
23 cats. Oh wow, a lot. Yeah, and all famous artists as well.
All the famous artists.
That's wonderful. Wow. I'm gonna take these 10.
Okay.
I think that I put 10 in there.
I give you also the bookmarks.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Artistic cats.
Oh, okay, I love it. And then in the what are these over here? These ones, what are these? Is this the Torah?
No.
No? Okay.
The word peace written in circle more than
Oh.
100 languages, that these originals.
Oh, that's original. Wow.
Same
and,
artist painted.
and the Kabbalah as well.
Yeah, Kabbalah. Here you can see the blessing hands.
Yeah.
And this one's a universe model
Oh.
before Galileo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, wonderful. And these are 20.
yeah 20.
Wonderful. Do you have a smaller one than that?
Smallest, this one.
The smallest.
Yeah.
And these are 10? How much?
No, 20.
20 as well? Okay. 20.
All 20.
I'll take this one.
Okay.
Actually no. I'll take this one. Yeah. Like that combination.
It's okay, like
Yeah, that'll be perfect.
this one is smaller.
Actually, do you have a different one? Just so
Yeah,
it says a little white marker.
because we have 4 cats.
Oh yeah, I can imagine they're run.
Yeah.
Oh, is the cats
Kind of signed by cats.
the ones that are outside are yours?
No,
They were
I'm
roaming-
looking here. You know, this one is the last one, this color.
Okay, so let me see the orange one. Oh, let me see this red one.
This one.
Yeah.
The same one, just the border is.
Okay, wonderful. I'll take this one.
Arrivo subito.
Quello con
It's amazing.
sì, no, perché prendere solo la luce.
Sì, rimasti solo questi 3.
La menorah con le luci da questo gruppo.
Questi 2.
Sì. Il segnalibro ovviamente, no?
Ah, come vedi sono innamorato.
Grazie.
Va bene 2? Anche 4.
Ecco qua, dai.
Lasciate aperto.
Sì, non ti preoccupare.
Grazie.
Grazie.
Wonderful. Oh, all right. Take those ones.
Now I'm going to close this one.
Do you accept card?
Yes, for cash if you have.
Oh no, card would be best.
It's okay. No problem.
What's the name of the artist?
The artist's name is Michal. I put here the map of Ghetto.
Oh.
You can find the information here.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Michal
Michal from Israel.
from Israel.
She lives upstairs with her husband and 4 cats.
Oh, it's so good. What? Yeah, they're right there.
We have this one,
Yeah.
the tiger one, Vaporetto, and 2 gingers, Campari and apple.
Oh, probably
Like
like
Swiss brothers.
Oh, I like that. Thank you. And then the postcards as well.
Yeah.
I don't need it back. Don't worry. Because I have a book bag. Yeah. Yeah. And the postcards, same artist?
Yes, same.
How long have you been running the shop? Yeah,
I'm working here about 2 years, 8 months.
Oh, wonderful. Are you also an artist?
No,
No.
I'm just working.
No. Wonderful.
We have these cats on canvas, legal,
Yes.
and also like poster.
Oh, with all of them. Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Me too.
What's the name of the shop again?
The shop's is Scala Mata Gallery.
Gallery. Okay, wonderful.
If you want, I can. Alan Baker is the artist's husband.
Yeah.
We have two galleries here. Okay. Just around the corner, the other gallery.
Wonderful. Grazie mille. Have a great night.
You too.
Hello.
Okay. So that was, I'll repeat. The studio in Venice. So here's the website. Illustrated, Torah scroll. Illustrated Torah scroll. That's the website. But the name of the place is called Scala Mata Gallery. And the artist just lives right here. And here we see Ghetto Vecchio, which means the old ghetto. All right, let's continue walking around. So that was really wonderful. The reason I didn't really point the camera anywhere is because I've noticed here in Italy a lot of artists do not like cameras. But since I'm buying basically everything I'm showing, that's why I showed the store a little bit, but that's why I wasn't really pointing the camera everywhere. So I hope you understand that's why I'm not pointing the camera everywhere. If you see other vloggers do go into stores and kind of get to know the locals, the reason they're able to do it is because they're able to edit their videos. So they're able to go there, ask for permission and chat. They end up saying yes, then they end up making the edit and posting it. But I'm live, so I really don't have the opportunity to do that. So I hope you understand. But what he was saying is the man has been working there for a little bit more than 2 years. The artist lives right upstairs, and their name is Mehon. And they are, they also run a studio around the corner as well. And all those cats were all different artists. So I bought postcards from all these artists. So one of the lucky mega urbanists may be able to get one of those postcards. So if you become a mega urbanist, $20 a month via Patreon or YT or more, you'll be able to get one of those postcards, potentially one of the cats. So yeah, that's what he said mostly. And then the other thing, it looks so cool. It had peace written in a bunch of languages. It had the Kabbalah, which is the old mystic Jewish esoteric the universe works. Kabbalah is pretty esoteric stuff, but basically what it means is kind of a map to the universe and a map to how the individual and the greater universe goes through its life cycle. It's really beautiful drawing from Jewish mysticism. That was really cool. Okay, so let's continue walking around. That was a really awesome shop. Highly recommend going there. So here is one of the gateways to the Jewish ghetto. So we see here how they would close up the gates and they would have pipes running through bars, metal bars, and closing in the Jewish community every night. Zap says that's deep. Oh yeah. Yeah, well, the moment I saw the Kabbalah, I was like, oh, I gotta get that. That's the coolest thing. Initially I thought it was the Torah written into a drawing, but it would end up being the Kabbalah. Inkspire Life says became a mega urbanist. Inkspire Life, I send you a Patreon message. Respond to that. So go on Patreon. Make sure to go on Patreon. Inkspire Life. Thank you so much for becoming a mega urbanist. If you become a mega urbanist, you gotta reach out to me directly. Show me that you're a mega urbanist, Let me know what platform or username, and then beyond that, send me your address. So yeah, let me know. Buonasera. So here we have, unfortunately, the remnants. Making a video of the history of the neighborhood.
Yeah, this used to be the gate, and this is the checkpoint.
Oh, this was the checkpoint.
This window here.
The window here. Oh, so the guards were inside there. Yeah. Oh, wow. Shocking to see it still here.
Yeah, in a way, but good.
Good. Right.
For the good.
That memory lives on.
Of course,
yeah.
restaurant.
Good food.
Best
Food. All right. Awesome. Have a good night. So here's a kosher restaurant, Gamba Bar restaurant. Ibarico, which means Jewish, kosher. And let's see the dishes. Oh. Pasticcio gamba. Gama. Ooh. Lasagna with vegetables. What? Oh, they have moussaka. Oh my god, they have a moussaka here. Someone was mentioning moussaka, and they have it here. That's interesting. They have schnitzel. So here was the gate where the checkpoint, the guard would check who you are, when you go in, how you coming. Seems like there was maybe another gate here, another window. And now we're back out to the canals. ¿Cuál es tu plato judío preferido? Manny, es una buena pregunta. Los platos judíos son diferentes en cada región, pero en términos de idealita, a mí me encanta falafel. So, Manny asks, what's my favorite Jewish food? It depends on the region, but if I were to eat like Israeli style, immediately comes to mind is falafel, which I think Jewish people do eat. Yeah, I see in Jewish restaurants. Otherwise, it would depend on other things. ¿Cuánto cuesta la comida en dólares? Francis, bienvenidos. Ojalá todo está bien en Puerto Rico. Francis, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope all is well in Puerto Rico. Cada euro es $1.20. So casi lo mismo. Pero cuando aumenta a más de $100, ahí cuando tú vas a ver la diferencia. So it's every €1 is $1.20. Once you start going across $100, then you really start seeing the difference. Oh, lasagna, that sounds so good. Oh my god. Oh, we have Stefano, the Venetian seagull. Love when you speak Spanish, says Nina. Yeah. Trattoria Bar Pontini. Look at this. That is so beautiful. Wow, this is a nice neighborhood. Now it's a nice neighborhood. No pasta al forno yet. So Susie, lasagna is pasta al forno. I've had plenty. I just haven't really shown it because, you know what? I've had pasta al forno is common to find in the fornos, which are like the bakeries. Not so much the bakeries. They're more like the cafeterias of Italy. So in Puerto Rico, we have cafeterias. In New York City, we don't really have like a cafeteria, but sometimes you'll find a cafeteria in New York City. So here, around 11 a.m., sometimes a little bit earlier at 10 a.m., they start taking out the pasta al forno, which is in essence lasagna or some type of version of lasagna, like eggplant lasagna. And that's when I've ate lasagna, when I woken up in the mornings as breakfast. So which side should we walk on? Let's walk on the Jewish side. So let's stay on this side. We'll continue down that way. Pasta al forno is different in the south. It has cheese, meatballs, fried. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Here, pasta al forno, from what I encountered in Rome and now here, is very similar to lasagna, American lasagna. Oh, I like this. Here's the Vaporetto, the 5.2 line. You're by El Ponte Googly? How do I pronounce that, Joey? Thank you so much. Oh, here's the Vaporetto stop. The 5.2 goes to Lido. Hey, Mona says, I love those prints you bought. Yes, thank you. If I miss any stars or super chats, do let me know while I was having the conversation. Thank you so much, Mona. Yes, I'm so glad to have them. This is so beautiful. Susan sent 200 stars. Thank you so much, Susan. Yeah. Susan, you're a gem. You're a star, Susan. You're a star. Bright shining star. Thank you so much. Italian song is very romantic. Oh yeah, that song was very good. This song, not so much. I had to mute for a little bit. Camila says pasta al forno is cooked in the oven. Camila, and it has a nice crust to similar to lasagna, but it's not the same. Camila, you know, pasta al forno, lasagna is also cooked in the oven. Well, why would you say it's different? Do let me know. B. Griffin says, I'm so sad we're not going to Ghost Island. Some things are just a little bit too tough to get to. Dogs are singing. Indeed they are. A wiener dog, to be precise. He's singing. So we can see how close the entrances were. So another of the Jewish ghetto entrances, very closed up. This is a gorgeous area. Everyone come here, definitely. The other gate into the ghetto, there must have been many gates. There were, I think, 2 main entrances because of the bridges. But yeah, there might have been more gates. All right. Shields, would I travel to Russia? I'm not so interested in Russia. I do appreciate Bald and Bankrupt's videos. I personally don't have too much interest in Russia. Mona says, as beautiful as it is, it must have been sad to see how insulated it is. So we encountered something very interesting with that brief encounter with the Jewish man who works at the Gam restaurant, which is one of the older kosher restaurants here in this neighborhood. I told him, oh wow, it's shocking that they still have this here. And he said, yeah, but it's also good. And that usually, I've noticed that tends to be the stance for many of the Jewish communities, that a lot of the history is kind of pretty traumatic. Being locked up in the neighborhood, right next to the worst fumes from heavy industry, and probably very heavy traffic here in the canal. It wasn't a nice place to live, and being locked up inside, not having the freedom to go where you want to go. Just read Shakespeare's Merchant of Venice if you want a little bit of a personal insight into that, or a dramatic insight into that. And then of course all the terrible genocide that has happened also with the Jewish community, and constant oppression in all these places. And the stance I've heard from many Jews is it's something we have to remember, to keep the memory of it alive. I guess, I'm speculating of course, because I'm not of the Jewish community, even though my name might seem otherwise. I'm not Jewish. But I grew up around Jews. I'm speculating that the reason they are wanting to remember is so it won't repeat itself, which is rather interesting, because in other cultures they rather forget. I am eager to one day visit Japan, for example, where culturally they take a very different stance. They rather forget. So it's very interesting. Janice, have I taken a DNA test? I have not taken a DNA test personally, but my close family members, my parents have, and no. No, I don't have, I do have North African blood, but I don't have much Jewish ancestry, or if any, or if any. So most of my bloodline is Spaniard, Portuguese, and then Canary Islands, probably the indigenous people of the Canary Islands, North African, Yoruba, which is modern day Nigeria, I think, and Taino, Native American. And then from Spanish ancestry, we have a lot of Galician blood, so it's more Celtic. Shield says, please do travel to Kyoto. Yes, I can't wait to go to Tokyo and Kyoto. Yeah, I can't wait to go to Japan, period. BA, yes, I have a lot of Canary Island blood. That's where my last name comes from, Vieira. It's from the Canary Islands. And yeah, I have a lot of family from the Canary Islands. Not close, not recent, many generations back. And Canary Islanders were not just the Canary. For perspective, I hope to one day try to trace my lineage in the Canary Islands, because a lot of my family does come from there, specifically from Tenerife. And the Canary Islands were actually colonized by the Spaniards. It wasn't always Spanish. It was colonized by the Spaniards, well, a little bit less than 1,000 years ago, 800, 500 years ago, something along those lines. It wasn't that far back. It was maybe a few hundred years before America. So they were actually indigenous Canary Islanders. And I have that lineage. Donald says, I joke I'm Jewish because when I go to New York City, I love bagels, bialys, and blintzes. Yeah, I like, if you grew up New Yorker, you're going to have close ties to at least that aspect of Jewish culture. B. Griffin, thank you so much for clarifying. So yeah, it was slightly before Columbus that the Canary Islands were colonized by the Spaniards. So very recent. Have you been to Tenerife? No, not yet. But maybe one day I'll go and trace my lineage. My Canary Island lineage. That's why I have black hair. That's probably one of the reasons I have black hair, aside from my African and North African lineage. Yeah, if you look at indigenous Canary Islanders, they have very long, straight black hair. So, yeah. And then, of course, having African ancestry and also North African ancestry, black hair, which is interesting. Be lucky to have hair, says George. I am grateful for the hair I have. Yes. I'm indeed grateful for my hair. So Frances Ortiz, my aunt who's tuning in right now, Frances, bienvenidos. Frances, sí, nosotros tenemos italiano. Oh, no sabía eso. So Frances is saying, aside from Canary Islands, there is some Italian ancestry. Ah, qué bien. Ahora estoy curioso de dónde de Italia. ¿Tú sabes, Frances? ¿De dónde de Italia? Son de Córcega. Teresa says, if your dad still has hair, then you will. Yes, my dad still has hair. He does. Hey, Maki, nice to see you here. How did they manage to do trade? Mona asked if they were so insulated in this neighborhood. Great question. I don't know 100% for sure, but if I were to speculate, a lot of the Jewish community was involved in banking and money lending. And that really did not require to always be out and about. So they would be allowed out and about during the day, obviously, to conduct the business. So I don't think they were heavily involved in trade, but more so money. But don't quote me on that. Maybe it's a bit more complicated than that. What's your proximity to St. Mark's Square? I think we're pretty far away. I think we would have to catch a Vaporetto to get to St. Mark's. Vaporetto. Wow. Oh, look at a beautiful sight to end on. Joy asks, how's the first copper wire invented? Oh, that I do not know. That I do not know. My aunt Frances on FB is saying that tu abuelo tienes los ojos amarillos de los Islas Canarios. So Canary Islands, they were known to have yellow eyes. I don't think it translates exactly to yellow. More hazel eyes, I think, from the Canary Islands. Nina says, you haven't sat for hours. I'm sorry to think you are an alien. Nina, how did you know? How did you know I was a bionic man? How would I rate my Venetian experience? I won't give you a rating, but I would say this has been an amazing, amazing trip. Please teach us Spanish, says Nina. This has been an amazing, amazing trip. I highly recommend it. Venice is wonderful. Let's see. Maybe I'll teach to you, all of you, Spanish if I return to Spain, or soon, hopefully one day soon, show you South America, which I really want to go. All right, everyone, that brings us to the end of the Jewish ghetto. I hope you enjoyed this walk through the Jewish ghetto. However, this is my very last live video in Venice. So let me know if you want to end it on a watery note and go across the water towards the Piazza San Marco. Let me know if you want to end on that note by going to Piazza San Marco. If you do, you gotta slam that like button right now. If you're on Facebook, share this with the Facebook group that you know that is relevant to travel, to Europe, to history, to the Jewish community in this context, to food, or to fairies. There's a lot of things that are relevant. So let me know if you're on Team Like or on Team Share, Team Like on YT or Team Share on Facebook, and we will continue on the journey, taking the Vaporetto all the way to San Marco to end this Venetian adventure. The Vaporetto leaves in a few minutes, so I gotta speed walk a little bit towards the Vaporetto stop, which we passed earlier. Can you please have one more drink before you leave Venice? Mona, we're gonna end with a boat ride. I hope you enjoy it. A spritz in Piazza San Marco. Go on the Vaporetto. Tommy says, when does Ariel go to Scotland? Oh, I really intend on going very soon. So if you want me to explore more places in the very near future, especially in autumn, as October starts getting a little bit cooler in Western Europe, let me know. And feel free to become a Patreon, patreon.com/Urbanist, and we have some Patreon.com/urbanist. Patreon.com/urbanist. Or press that join button on YT, or that become a supporter button on Facebook. And there are 360 videos waiting for you. A whole lot of Florence, Rome, Santorini, Athens, Thessaloniki. All these wonderful places. And we have one also in, all those wonderful places. And then a few more are popping up in Venice once I have access to fast internet. So stay tuned. This upcoming week, you'll be seeing the Venetian ones. All right, let's see. $39. Cool. We got 6 minutes for the 5.1. Yeah, we can catch the 5.1. Cool. Oh, we can actually catch the 5. No, let's catch the 5.1. 5.1 is much more fun. All right, 5.1. So 5.1 right over here. Damn it. I don't have, there's no machines here. Ah, damn it. I thought my thing would keep on working. My 3-day pass has expired, and it doesn't work per day, per 24-hour cycles. It works from the exact time you validate to the exact time you validate 3 days out later, which passed. Oh, so there goes the Vaporetto. I can't get on. Oh no, and there's no machine there, so I can't buy a Vaporetto ticket. I have to go to a tabaccheria to get a Vaporetto ticket. Oh, that's a shame. So I gotta go to a tabaccheria to find a Vaporetto ticket. There's no machine there, not in this stop.
Hai pagato? Hai pagato?
Why is there no machine at the stop? I see a tabaccheria.
Qual è il senso? Vado da lì facendo vedere la video così va bene.
Let's see if this works. Tabaccheries are mostly closed. Yeah, I assumed it was per the day of. And the reason why is because that's how it is in New York City with the Metro card. So the Metro card, if you get 1 week unlimited, once you swipe, it'll be 7 days from now, but the days, not the exact hour that you swiped. But here, it's the exact hour you swiped. And if you don't have a machine, then you have to find the tobacco shop. But, tobacco shops, a lot of them are closed at this time. So let's see where we can find a place to buy a ticket. That's a little bit frustrating. I wish they had a little bit better service, because you know in New York you can always go to the machine there, or there's an attendant. Is there a way to purchase a ticket with the phone? But I have to download the app, which I don't. It's gonna take too long. Yeah, they're all closed. Oh, tabaki. Franca, can you buy tickets at a bar? I don't think so, if anyone knows that for sure. But I don't think so. I don't think a bar sells Vaporetto tickets. Alright, let me try asking. Scusa, do you know where I can buy a Vaporetto ticket?
In the stop is the ticket.
This one has a machine?
Yeah, the
Okay,
machine.
wonderful.
You go this way.
Yeah.
You do in the right.
Okay.
The first in the left.
Okay.
You look at the church. Around the church is the board stop.
Okay, wonderful. Grazie mille. Yeah, so no, bars don't have tickets. That bar, well, at least that bar didn't have a ticket. Dean says I can walk to San Marco. Indeed, I can. Yes, San Marco is not too far. I just really wanted to show you a boat ride to San Marco. That's why I wanted to get on the Vaporetto, but the ticket did not work. Is it this way? It's this way. Oh, I see. Tommy, I've seen videos of people kayaking here, but I have not seen anyone kayaking thus far walking around Venice. But there are videos, plenty of videos that show people kayaking. So this is the church you mentioned. Well, no, it's no issue of walking to St. Mark. St. Mark is very easy to walk. It'll take us right now only about 20 minutes. I just want to show you a boat ride. I want to get on a boat ride too. Like, I want to get on a boat. That's why I'm trying to find a place to buy the tickets. And here it is. But the thing is, you know, some stops don't have ticket machines. And it's an honor system, but if you risk it and you're caught, then you have to spend, then it'll be in hundreds of dollars, hundreds of euros. So I would not recommend doing that. But here we have a stop with a Vaporetto ticket. You should be able to get a ticket from the boat operator. I don't think so, Andy. No, I don't think you can get tickets from the boat operator. I don't think they handle money. So here it is. This one goes to the bus station. Let's see the other one. Scott says better edited. This is these videos are better edited. Why doing live? Feel free to answer Scott, everyone. Scott, welcome to the broadcast. Everyone feel free to answer Scott on YT. Why do live? Alright. So here we're in San Marco and San Marco Vallecero. Vallareso. I think that's it, yeah. Yeah, that should be it. me know. All right, success. Yeah, it's empty. Okay, everyone, I'm running out of battery. Vote now if you want to continue the live stream, and also let Scott know, and anyone who tunes in. I'm like, why are you watching this person walk around? What's the point? Just watch a vlog. Tell them why.
Mascherina per cortesia. Mascherina.
you so much for 500 stars, Don. Don, I'm so happy you were able to figure it out. Let's see.
Spostiamoci dalla porta per cortesia.
Don, I'm so happy you were able to figure out the stars. Thank you so much for sending them in. And Shannon, you love Venice. Amazing.
Ci spostiamo, lasciamo libera quella porta, grazie che siete in mezzo. Prego, San Marco presido, prego. Per San Marco presido, prima di salire.
Mona, did I first think I would spend 4 days here? You know, I was seriously considering Venice to only be a day trip. So I did not expect to be here as long in Venice. But then more and more people told me about Venice, and I ended up listening to a few videos by Rick Steves, and he was so enamored by Venice that I decided to just spend a few more days. And then most Italians I spoke with, Paola, Mary Jane, they all told me that they loved Venice so much, and that convinced me to come. If the locals as well, along with the tourists and the experts, are all saying that Venice is amazing, they can't all be wrong. So, and they're not. How's your Airbnb in Venice? Stay tuned. I'm gonna post a video of it. So that's where we were eating yesterday. Robert says Rick Steves is enamored by every city in Europe. You know, Rick Steves has a few strong opinions by 2 or 3 cities in Europe. So he doesn't love every city. But obviously it's his in to really love most cities because he sells guides to them. Here's the famous Rialto Bridge. It was designed by a man fittingly named Antonio da Ponte. And Ponte means bridge. This is the Ponte di Rialto. There has been a bridge here since the 1100s, but the very first official Rialto Bridge was a timber bridge built in 1264. However, timber is very susceptible to water damage and also to fires, so they had to rebuild a new bridge. And thus they held a huge contest to see who can make the best design. Some of the best architects of that time have proposed their ideas, including Michelangelo. But Michelangelo's idea was so controversial that they rejected it. Sansovino and Palladio were 2 other architects that submitted designs. But the one that won out is Antonio da Ponte, who wasn't really that well known. However, according to legend, Antonio da Ponte was met with the devil as he was working on the bridge. The devil told him that the bridge will collapse unless if he offers the soul of the first person that crosses it. Well, Antonio da Ponte had a trick up his sleeve. He decided to allow the first creature to pass the Rialto to be a rooster. The devil got wind of it, and he went over to his wife and told his wife, "Your husband is waiting for you at the bridge in the middle of a foggy night." The wife rushed over to the bridge, and she was the first person to cross it. The thing is, the wife was pregnant. So just a few weeks later, she gives birth to a stillborn. That stillborn child haunted the Rialto Bridge for generations. Until, also according to legend, a gondolier helped that ghostly child move on to the other side, no longer haunting this bridge. Also, it's famous for being in the classic Hollywood film that's known all around the world, Spider-Man Far From Home. Nina, you love this story. Awesome. Yeah, Carol says, you remind me so much of the late, great Dante Bourdain. He is missed. Oh, it's such an honor that I could remind you of such a great, great entertainer. Where's the ghost baby now? He was taken to the other side. So Tommy says we have the same story in Frankfurt. Oh wow. This San Silvestre.
Versa Marco Perdido, prego. Versa Marco Perdido.
Yeah, Venice is interesting. It's similar to Santorini in the way that you can't really replicate it. It's hard to replicate it. There's not that many other places like it. Historically, there was Teotihuacan, but it's now all landfill. So there aren't places like Venice. It's very unique. And we might not ever see a Venice made in the future. I mean, Dubai tried their best, but what Dubai ended up doing is making suburbs on man-made islands. People here are waiting for the traghetto to cross for €2 on a gondola, 2 or 3 euros. This boat is like a bus. Yep, it's literally a water bus. So the book I showed you has stories on a lot of these palaces that we're passing through. Again, I wish I could make like a more extended version of this while reading the book, but not enough time for this specific trip. Oh, AR, nice to see you here. AR says that Boston might be the new Venice in 2040. Oh, well, yeah. Boston was beautiful before as well, so. But yeah, no city has quite things like this. Esfield says, there you are watching Venice while I'm in sweats watching Chris Cuomo. Favorite old movie of Venice is Summertime with Katharine Hepburn. Yep, where she fell into the water and ended up getting an eye infection which was never cured. So that should be a reminder to all the Americans out there. Do not take a swim. especially if you're American. This water does not bode well with Americans. Matt, thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, as Phil says, oh no, I'm not in sweats. Chris Cuomo is. Oh no. Chris Cuomo's doing a show in sweats. Wow. That's shocking. S Field says, I love Boston. Yeah, you know what this Italy trip has taught me was that Boston is a treasure in the US, and we must preserve it and take full advantage of it, I think, and really preserve all that history that Boston has, because Boston has immense beauty architecturally and also historically. S Field says Chris Cuomo is covering the storm while wearing sweats. I am shocked on how casual news broadcasting is getting. I luckily am not in sweats. I am wearing proper shorts.
Stay to the side, please.
Susie now says that Chris Cuomo's on the beach. Oh my god, what is happening with CNN? A sweatpants beached reporter. That's crazy. Here we have everyone yearning to see the Rialto. Luckily we're going the opposite side where it's not as full. Arrivederci. Carol says, will the rope snap? I hope not. Is it windy here? Not so much, not so much. Just a nice breeze, a light trickle of a breeze. Miss Lob says, I have a feeling I'll be leaving my heart in Venice. So yeah, look at that sky. There we go. Susie, I hope you're staying safe amidst the hurricane. Bushwick before has gotten a tornado during a hurricane, so I hope that does not happen again. Inspired Life says your taxi boat ride was epic yesterday. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Wondering how deep it is. Oh, very. No, Grand Canal I think is only like two to 5 meters deep. It's not that deep. Two meters. I mean, that means Shaq can, Shaquille O'Neal, the basketball player, can stand and his head will still be sticking out. So that means if anyone wants to see Shaq walk in the Venetian canals, let me know. We'll try and make it happen. Susie says Rhode Island's gonna get hit. Oh no. I wanted to show Providence town. What's the price of the water taxi? So from Burano was about 45 minutes, a little bit less, 25-minute ride. Epic, very far, because in water taxi would take in 45 minutes. That ended up costing 120 euro, 110 euro, because I got a discount. So that is equivalent of about 130 US dollars. Here's Academia. I did not have time to go to Academia either. There's the Vitruvian Man is right here, the famous painting by Leonardo da Vinci of male anatomy. Not Grey's Anatomy, but male anatomy. How many days were I in Venice? I was 5 days in Venice. No, 4 days in Venice, sorry. 4 days in Venice. Say you need more or less time here. So I traveled more like a tourist because I did not have too much time to research that deeply into that many topics. So I would say you would need more time. I think 4 days is tight. It's tight. But then again, I streamed for like 8 hours yesterday, so maybe it's not too tight. I think 4 days, actually 4 days would be ample time, I think, to see most of the important things of Venice. If you really want to immerse yourself, I think, in Venice, then maybe a day or two more. Oh, the soothing sounds of a crying baby. Nothing can complement the romance of Venice, like a child crying on the Vaporetto. These water taxi are going much slower than the water taxi I took yesterday. That guy was James Bonding it yesterday. I've seen a few water taxis. They're taking sweet time. I think the guy yesterday was breaking some speed limits. Has this trip inspired any potential music? No. Inspire life? No. It has inspired movie ideas. As I mentioned, one of them being Pompeii, and I have another one that really inspired me coming here. But no music ideas. The only thing I was inspired to is kind of remake or re-edit the song for the TikToks, so it fits a little bit better. Can you see yourself living here? No, Gigi. No, I cannot see myself living in Venice. Though I can see myself traveling here for 2 weeks. I can see myself being here for a week on a honeymoon. That yes. We're in Salute. We got like 2 or 3 more stops. Or like 2 stops, I think. Is there Uber in Venice? No, no Uber boat in Venice. While some cities might have Uber boat, Turkey had Uber boats, but not Venice. Millie says, thank you so much for making the the extra effort to get the Vaporetto. Indeed, I was looking like you were enjoying it. I'm laughing because of the crying child. Kudos to all the parents out there. Must take a lot of patience with little kids, especially traveling. I don't know how people can travel with little kids. I would wait until they're older. The water taxi is a great way for getting around. It is. If you want to get around Venice efficiently and fast and walking, but if you want to relax, take the Vaporetto. Easy to get to places. Hannah, Hanan, thank you so much for 100 stars. So this guy is balancing on a huge pole while carrying some type of banner. Frances, es so beautiful. Frances dice que es tan bello. Sí, es bellísimo. Venecia sí vale la pena visitar. Frances, tú visitaste Venecia, ¿verdad? Frances, you visited Venice before, right? And here we are, San Marco. Who wants to get out San Marco? Or should we just go to Lido? Should we just go to Lido and get stuck in the beach at night? Oh, Frances, tú viniste dos veces. Frances came here 2 times. Ah, no sabía que tú viniste aquí 2 veces. Oh, qué bien. That's awesome. You came here twice. Someone mentioned that they saw a Brooklyn shirt. Yep. There's always someone with a Brooklyn shirt anywhere you go around the world. I can go to the most remote places of Mexico, to the most Italian corners of Italy, to the backsides of Venice, to seeing the full frontal views of Santorini, to penetrating the depths of Athens. there will always be either a Brooklyn shirt or a Yankees cap. And of course, reggaeton playing in the distance without fail. Ludos, I heard bad things about Venice. I had the impression that Venice was not going to be so fun because I thought it was going to be a massive touristy Disneyland with overly priced food, extremely expensive lodging, no space to walk in the streets, gigantic cruise ships landing right onto the Venetian lagoon. I thought it was going to be like that, but no, it didn't happen. Irene says, my first impression when I got out of the train station and saw the water, I couldn't believe it. Oh, Irene, you also visited Venice. Oh, that's so amazing. Who here has visited Venice? Do let me know right now. ¿Quién de las personas mirando ahora mismo, quién ha visitado Venecia? Me dices. Estoy curioso. Let me know who has visited Venice. I'm very curious. Klaus has visited twice. Rebecca as well. Dean has been here 3 times. Joey has been here. Camila as well. Vero visitó hace 20 años. Vero has visited us 20 years ago. The cruise ships are banned. Indeed, yeah, they are now banned, yeah. They had to land further inland. And a lot of cruise ships are now going to Trieste rather than Venice. My husband proposed to me in Venice. Wow, Nicola, that's awesome. Can you tell us where? I'm very curious if you want to share. Here we say you always find the Chilean guy in the most unusual places, says Irene. I can say that about Australians. I always meet an Australian in the most random places. Chileans, you know, I've not seen a Chilean yet, but maybe if I'm lucky. Francisco ha visitado en 2019. Tu paseo es magnífico. Oh, qué bien que te encanta este paseo. Okay, so this was a long journey. So to end this journey, I think Mona has been so kind and giving so many super chats. Let's appreciate Mona, who's been such a hardcore viewer for the longest time, and a few others have asked for it. I think let me know who were the people who asked for it. They asked for a spritz right at the Piazza San Marco. So let's oblige that spritz by Piazza San Marco. One last drink to Venice, to the beauty of visiting all these places in Italy, and one last drink for almost 2 months worth of making videos on a daily basis. I've made videos on a daily basis for 2 months. I'm taking a break, and I'll be back on Thursday. I'll show you on the map as well as we sit down for a spritz where we ended up, so you can kind of orient yourselves. Stay tuned, there will be a 360 video inside the Basilica for supporters. Patreon.com/Urbanist, Patreon.com/Urbanist, Super Urbanist and above. Patreon.com/Urbanist. Anyone can put the link in the comments, or the join button on YT, or the become a supporter button on FB. TikTok videos coming of the horses and the theft of St. Mark's. But which I did not Nina says no Negroni. No. The reason I'm having a spritz is because this place actually has a aperitivo, which is the spritz combined with... Actually, I'm having a Americano specifically. They have that combined with the chips and such. Nina says, stay safe. You mean so much to us. Yeah, I will, Nina. 100K can't come soon enough. Joey, yes, if you are... The way to help is pressing that like button, spreading the word. Ludo, am I going home? No, you will be seeing one more place in Italy and one more day trip in Italy. That's all I can say. Not much more. But you'll be seeing me on Thursday. I will be in Italy on Thursday. Mona! 15 USD, thank you so much. The coffers for the Spritz Fund has opened up. So if anyone wants to leave something for a Spritz, do let me know and we'll Spritz it up tonight. Let's see if we can find really the perfect table. I've set the bar too high for New Yorkers, yeah. I'm gonna see if I can sit here in the corner. Yeah, I think so. All right. See it? Actually, I'm already ready. I'll get the Americano Florian aperitivo. Yeah, perfect. That's it. The views, ladies and gentlemen. We are at the Cafe Florian, one of the oldest bars. Let me move a little bit here. One of the oldest bars, coffee shops in Italy. The oldest coffee shop in Italy. One of the oldest in Europe, after Cafe Preoccupe, I think is pronounced, something along those lines. If anyone can let me know how to pronounce the one in Paris. And then the Blue Bottle Cafe in Venice are just a little bit older. But this is the oldest coffee bar in all of Italy. In Cafe Florian. Look at that. Nina says, enjoy your days off, find a quick romance, buy a new hat. Thank you, Nina. Thank you. Sí, Francis, por favor, no, y para cualquier persona hablando en español, por favor, no escribe solamente en mayúscula. Por favor, no escribe en mayúscula. Escribe normalmente, porque mayúscula generalmente suena como si alguien está gritando todo el tiempo. Como si alguien está siempre gritando todo el tiempo. Así suena las mayúsculas en escritura en los comentarios. So, por favor, no mayúsculas. So for anyone writing, please do not write in all caps. All caps sound like you're screaming, and they can be abused. So please don't write in all caps. Hey Irene, thank you so much for the CLP 3900. Irene! Irene's being so kind and sending a super chat. Irene has joined in sponsoring this last aperitivo here in Venice. Thank you so much, Irene, for the aperitivo here in Venice at Cafe Florian. So thank you so much. It could have been an accidental case of caps lock. A lot of people, some people do have caps lock, so please disable it. I buy San Pellegrino from my shop just to remind me of Italy. Yeah. I do like that sparkling water. Ironically, San Pellegrino here is the expensive one. You can find a lot cheaper sparkling waters, and it's not so expensive. Carmen says, I love your Spanish. Thank you so much. I would love to put it more into use. I really want to visit Santiago. Irene is from Santiago. I would love to, in Chile, I would love to visit Buenos Aires. I have so many Argentinian viewers, so many. So I think it would be a very interesting experience showing Buenos Aires and aprendiendo el acento argentino. So hablar un poco como los argentinos to learn a little bit more of the Argentinian accent, and then going to Cusco, stability. I'll be able to do something in Machu Picchu at some point because there is service in Machu Picchu. I've seen live streams from Machu Picchu, and it blows my mind that there's service up there. And Pat says, wow, fantastically, you speak Spanish. Yes, it's my first language. Since you're going to Argentina, stop by in Chile. Yes, indeed. Buenos Aires would be a good one. Oh, yes. I would love to dance tango. Grazie mille. All right. Look at this. So here is their special drink, the Americano Florian. I recommend getting this one over the Spritz. The Spritz is not, it's not served in the Spritz cup, it's served in this cup, and it's not as strong, and it's the same price. So go for the Americano, and they have their own Campari-like liquor called the Florian, and it's this. Look at that. Americano is, let me know what are the 3 ingredients. Usually it is Campari, gin, and one more ingredient. I think Prosecco. I think. Let me know what are the 3 ingredients of Campari. And this is aperitivo, so we have some olives. But luckily, no one put an olive in my spritz. Thank God. Oh, I did not want olive in my spritz. And here we have some potato chips. And they're ordinary potato chips, indeed they are. All right, everyone, I found a new green screen. I found a new Zoom background. A new Zoom background for all of you. There we go. Look at that. All right, let's try this out. Some potato chips. Cheers. Oh, this Americano is very good. So not to be confused with Cafe Americano, but this is a Americano cocktail. And according to lore, it was made, I think Americano has some New York connection. Camilla says, disgusting. What's disgusting, Camilla? Dude, let me know. BA says, chin chin. Yes, chin chin. And cheers, salute. Yes, cheers, salute. En cuando fui a las tiendas de Venecia, de Venecia los zapatos y carteras eran carísimos. ¿Y ahora cuáles son los precios? Pregunta Francis. When I went to Venice, the prices were very expensive in Venice for purses and for jewelry. Los precios no son tan caros como Nueva York, pero todavía son caros. Un poco más caro que otra área en Italia. Pero no sé tanto porque no he ido a esas tiendas. So I don't know too much. The prices seem just a little bit more expensive than Rome, but less expensive than New York. Oh yeah. This is the music. You're sitting at Katharine Hepburn's table. I am? That's cool. Oh, the music. The Godfather. Is this from? I don't think this is from The Godfather, but it might have appeared in The Godfather. Hey, Kathy. Nice to see you here. Cheers and enjoy your meal, says Pat. Thank you so much. Drinking a glass of drinking a glass of a liquor. Amazing. I think Ariel should go and touch the campanile and prove that he's not in front of a green screen. Just go run to the campanile. I cannot leave my camera unattended. This is Shostakovich. Let me know how to pronounce that. No, from the movie The Essence, says Klaus. A lot of people don't like salt and vinegar chips. I like them. Yeah, these are more like plain potato chips. Well, Lauren says, have a late flight home. There's still more. There's still a few more days that I'm going to show you of some other place. Hey, Kathy, nice to see you here. Pronounce Shostakovich. Shostakovich. Or Shostakovich. Sounds like a carousel. Yeah, because I think it is used in the carousel. Via says, don't go home yet. There will be another place in Italy. There are structures in this location. It's inhabited by people. And those people do indeed wear clothes. Those are the hints for all of you. Structures, people, and the people happen to wear clothes. BA says, you mean Staten Island. Could be Staten Island. Could be Staten Island. Could be Provincetown, Rhode Island as well. Pat says, somehow I know this song. It's a very popular song. Okay, for 5 minutes, rapid fire questions about my trip to Venice and my trip thus far to Italy. Let me know. Mono says, I'm living there. Feels like we're there with you. Guess we are, says Sandy. Indeed you are. Indeed you are. Usually people will be sitting on the other side, but I want to be framed with beautiful St. Mark's Basilica. How do you arrange a flight home? I originally got a round trip, and Delta has the ability, I booked via Delta directly, and they have the ability to switch tickets. And that policy has been extended throughout December. So if you have the ability to travel right now, book on Delta if you're coming from America, and it's easy to kind of switch plans. I did not spend more money. Actually, each subsequent flight that I changed was actually cheaper than the last. So I have some Delta credit. Good song. Kathy says it's been fantastic. Kathy asks, best memory of Venice so far? The water taxi ride. Mind-blowing. Oh, wow. Beautiful taxi ride. Gay on that water taxi, truly, it's the thing I want to do the most. While I like the gondola, and I'm so happy I was able to show it to all of you, personally, that was not the thing I was looking forward to the most. I didn't care too much about the gondola ride, but I did really always want to ride a water taxi, and I'm glad I did. Are you sleeping in Venice? Maybe, maybe not. Stay tuned. Tomorrow I may have a little short video of the Airbnb. Is your Schengen visa ending? It's 3 months. I've been here only for 2, so 3 months. I'm enjoying the tour of Venice. Thank you, says Loretta. I'm going back and rewatching the violin concert. Oh, I'm glad you are. Yeah. It's amazing. Best place to people watch. Oh yes. So glad the taxi was your fave. Yes, big round of hearts to Margaret and to all the sponsors of that taxi ride. If you read The Godfather, it's a bad idea to get a wife in Italy. You are very, very quiet about meeting women. We know you have, says Tina. Inspire Life says, if you have one more day in Venice, what would you do? Oh, what would I do? I would wake up drinking a cup of coffee right by the Grand Canal, stroll around, take a Vaporetto back to Burano, take photos of all the beautiful houses and all the wonderful sights of Burano, drink a spritz right there in the main passageway of Burano, go and take the boat all around the Venetian lagoon, past the haunted island, past the St. Francis of Assisi monastery, talk to a priest, ask him about his life there in the monastery in the middle of a Venetian lagoon, and then I would go and take the boat back and have a quiet dinner deep into the streets of Venice in a small little square with a little passageway towards the canal and a gondolier bringing people in and out. And that spaghetti would be covered in squid ink, all accompanied with a nice glass of wine. And then I would wander the streets of Venice at night, enjoying the beauty of getting lost in this wonderful city, feeling lost in time, and then going to sleep and heading off. Yeah, that's what I would do for my last day. Strange, but I can see light falling in the sky. It's not UFOs, it's people selling kind of those play cookies, play toys, light toys. Have anyone read Ariel's novella? Beautiful story and music. Il Mundo, oh, what a beautiful song. Yes, I wonder what those lights are. It's people selling toys. Perhaps. Nina says, beautiful description. Young Girl Curl says, I belong in Hollywood. Oh, thank you so much, Young Girl Curl. I appreciate that. And then chocolate. Strange, you could relive Venice and Kilkenny. We have water and bridges. Perhaps. Okay, thank you so much. I'm so excited to go Kilkenny. Very fascinating are Italian songs. Venice is very romantic, oh yes. Would love to hear them play the tango and see someone dancing to it. insofar being in Italy this time versus being there before, what has been majorly noticeable? It's a lot more quieter. Though past 2 times I've come to Italy have been October and October and March. March was very quiet. March was quieter than this. I did not come to Venice, but I went to Rome. Very quiet. When I went to October, a little bit more full. I did not see too much of a discernible difference. The discernible difference is a lot of churches I would like to visit are closed. And I can't go to a lot of these churches, and because it's August, some restaurants are closed. That's the only difference. And then showing the green pass kind of slows things down. It's not too big of an inconvenience, but it does slow things down. What's the weather in March in Rome? Very cloudy and rainy and breezy. What has been the challenge for you in Italy overall? It's a different culture. The biggest challenge has been making videos here, Mona. The culture here is tricky with video. People really care about their privacy here, like really care about it. And people don't like being filmed generally, or they're nervous about it. So it's tricky. It's tricky to, but I found, you know, I've stepped up to the challenge and worked around it. And what I've noticed is going to the quieter neighborhoods a lot easier. And going to more of these kind of off the beaten path neighborhoods way easier. How much Italian language do you learn? Not too much. I've spoken so much English here. And when I learned a little bit with Mary Jane's family, who doesn't know much English. So we communicated mostly Spanish to Italian. And it was really fun. Has anyone asked you to remove a video from your channel? No. Soliquio. Ooh, that's the song playing. How would you rate the pizza in Italy? Pizza in Italy can get very good, especially Roman style pizza can get really, really good. So I would recommend the Roman style pizza if you can. Naples, nothing beats Naples style. New York is different, but in terms of freshness, New York can't compare. It can't compare to Italy in terms of freshness. In terms of quality of bread, can't compare to the Roman style. New York has this magic. It's just different. New York is more kind of a quick bite thing. New York is something you can get very late at night. New York just fills you up with that warmth of its greasiness and cheesiness. That's so amazing. It makes it very different from Italian. So while Italian you feel like you're having a good fresh meal, New York feels that kind of cuddly hug at midnight. Love the music. Could you order Venice, Santorini, and say Paris by the Romanticism? Ooh, Oleg, that's a great question. Great question. If I were to rank it so people would know where to travel for a romantic trip, Paris is number 1. Nothing beats Paris, I think, in romance. I definitely feel Paris by far most mind-blowing romantic destination. Number 2, Santorini. Ooh, Santorini, oh my god. Santorini is romantic. I went alone, I felt romantic. That's how it felt for me. Like I felt like I was in love, just being in Santorini. Venice is very romantic, so I'll put it in 3rd. Very romantic. More romantic than many other places in the world. The way you move your camera makes me think you miss scaffolding in New York. No, I do not miss scaffolding in New York, Ronald. But it's interesting to think that. Thank you for bringing us a taste of Italy. I miss traveling to Europe. Almost everything in Italy that you showed us was more than worth it. Indeed it was. The aroma of New York City pizza is heavenly. Oh yes. In general, we don't think we see many YouTubers in Europe. There's a lot of travel YouTubers, but they do travel videos. Like here are the best places to visit. Here's what to do a day in Italy. Here's very practical travel information. And some of them do it in a very creative way. Some of them do it in a more straightforward, informational way. And then you have vloggers like Harold Balder and Bold and Bankrupt that do go to Europe, but they just don't go to the European places you expect. They kind of go really off the beaten path. Because remember, Europe is big. There's a lot more in Eastern Europe. And Europe technically extends all the way to Georgia, so there's a lot more to Europe. That said, not that many live videos, I think, in Europe. There's I Love Venice here, which I unfortunately did not have the time to really collaborate with them, but they have videos here. There's French Fry in Paris. There's a few live streamers, but on YouTube I don't think there's that many. Maybe on Twitch, but I'm not sure what the Twitchers are doing. I don't think they're doing my style of travel videos. Austria is gorgeous. Is Santorini a single thing? No. Cheeky monkey. It is not. Santorini is a place filled with couples. So someone earlier asked, do you ever feel lonely on your trips? There are places that I feel perfectly awesome being alone. Mexico was 100% that place. It felt so easy to meet people in Mexico. Mexico was a wonderful place as a solo traveler, especially if you're a Spanish speaker. 100% recommend Mexico. Athens and Thessaloniki, also great places to go as a solo traveler. Santorini, you're gonna see a lot of couples. You're gonna see a lot of couples deeply in love, public displays of affection. You're gonna see couples embracing each other and kissing. You're gonna see engagement photos. You're gonna see weddings. You're gonna see the height of romance. Same thing here in Venice. Same thing in Sorrento and Capri and Positano. So in those places, I didn't feel lonely per se. In the past, I have felt lonely going to these places, but that was a different point in my life. Now I feel like, oh, that would be so nice to be in a romantic getaway. But it doesn't make me feel so lonely. Maybe at moments, but not the entire time, luckily. But for me, the place where I felt connected by far was Mexico. And a really close second was Greece, especially Thessalonica and Athens. I felt like, especially Thessaloniki, I felt like something. I felt a spark there. Can't imagine you feeling lonely, says Nina. I know Santorini is not for a single traveler, but Mykonos is. Yeah, Dean, I haven't had experience with Mykonos, but I think Mykonos is for singles. In the New York Minute, thank you so much for a $5 super chat. Says, thank you for bringing us a taste of Italy. My pleasure. Santorini was the most gorgeous of all. Oh yeah, I love Santorini. Greece is better than Greece too. Now you're traveling with many friends. Yeah, I mean, it makes it a lot easier. Admittedly, if I were a solo traveler through Venice or Santorini or Sorrento/Positano, and I was traveling for pleasure, I would feel a little bit lonelier. It would be kind of a little bit uncomfortable seeing so much love, so much romance all around. So I would, if I were solo traveling for pleasure, I would go to other places. But this is work. I feel like I'm working, I'm doing great work, so it doesn't really matter to me. Your last cultural shock. The culture shock. The culture shock here in Italy wasn't so kind of in your face, big. I would say the last big culture shock was in Greece, doing videos in the restaurant, especially in the locals restaurants, and all eyes, or a lot of eyes, were on me, a lot of them, but did not feel the same way that Italy feels. Italy, I think eyes were on me because they were concerned about me showing them on video, or it felt like that, or they had no idea what I was doing. In Greece, it was like a combination. In Greece, it felt like, yes, maybe some people had no idea what I was doing, but also people in Greece were curious to what I was doing, and it felt like intimidating, but also felt like it was a friendly curiosity. And that's why in Greece I had a lot of wonderful experiences with the locals. Waiters came up and chatted, they told jokes. It was interesting. So yes, it is intimidating making a video in Greece, but at the same time, if you stick around, it seems like people just start welcoming you in. It was very interesting. Greece is a very interesting country in terms of culture. If you want to feel like you're being immersed into a community, stick around Greece for a little while, and I think you'll start experiencing that. It's very interesting, very different from my experience anywhere else in the world. I haven't been to a culture quite like it, where it feels like there's a rite of passage to become part of the community, of course, because you're a foreigner, no one really knows you. But if you pass that rite of passage, it seems like doors start opening up. And I was there just as the doors were starting to open up. And I can't really describe it to you in logical terms. That's how it felt. Doors were starting to open up in Greece. And it's different culture to culture. BA says, yeah, that's so true. I wasn't interested in visiting Greece until your tour. Favorite random encounter in Italy? Someone mentioned earlier the hitman waiter. Yes, the waiter that looked at me like he was about to assault me and then complimented me for doing the video of his restaurant. Not the waiter, he was the chef. The chef in the Jewish ghetto of Rome. That was, I think, the most interesting encounter in Italy. Panagiotta says, yeah, we're really trying to make anyone one of us. Sometimes it's more pressure than usual. Yeah. And I met Greeks here in Italy, and I felt that same vibe. Just by the mere mentioning that I've been to Greece, felt like the doors were opening up to the Greeks that I met here. And you saw at least once live. The other time it was in Sorrento, and it was after I did the live video. But meeting Greeks and saying Kalispera and kind of just mentioning that I went to Thessaloniki and Athens, it just felt like I was already starting to be more welcomed in. Greece is a very interesting place, ladies and gentlemen. Visit it if you can. How about joining a table full of gypsies? I don't know. I have not seen gypsy culture yet. I don't know where to experience it. Let me know where I can experience the gypsy culture. You should travel to Puerto Rico too. Yeah, I've featured Puerto Rico before. Some moments in Rome were nerve-wracking, like the aggressive rose girls. That was in Athens, the aggressive rose girls, not in Rome. Yeah. A man by himself telling stories to a cell phone seems a bit strange for many, says Ludo. I can imagine, yeah. Susie says, the family in Greece, yes. Ludo, yes, I can imagine. But every culture responds differently. In Mexico, no one really cared. Also in the US, people smile, people cheer, they might look weird and then mind their own business. In Mexico, same thing. People smile, people look weird, one or the other, then mind their own business. Sometimes they were very curious and they came up to me and started chatting. It happened many times in Mexico. Not so many here in Rome nor in Greece. And Dubai next? Oh no, I don't think I would go to Dubai. No, I don't think so. Dubai, it doesn't seem like a real city. What would you say in Italy was a meal you had, one of the most interesting meals you had in Italy? That meal I had in Capri of the risotto alla limone with gamberi, which was risotto, which is a rice with lemon and shrimp. Divine. Another meal that I had was absolutely divine was that meal in the neighborhood of Garbadella in Rome. That restaurant run by the lovely couple. One of the more interesting meals I had. And the couple was so lovely. I met the husband. I did not meet the wife, but they were so lovely. And they just had a warm experience eating that amazing meal in Garbadella, which was a very locals area. It's not really, there's nothing touristy there. It's more like the Bushwick of Rome, and it felt really interesting. And Kay loved Dubai. Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. I will go there soon. Thanks for the pro tip. Yes. Consider Croatia. Maybe one day. All right, everyone. Cheers. Again, if you want official Urbanist prints, I'll be posting the Italy photos of each of the regions soon. This week, you'll start seeing them pop up, so you can go and buy official prints of the photos that you've been seeing on Instagram right over here, and you can become an official Urbanist, super Urbanist, if you want access to 360 and VR videos, and if you want to have access to postcards being sent to you, then you can become a mega Urbanist. And mega Urbanists are people who give $20 or more monthly on Patreon or on YT. Press that join button or go to patreon.com and select the mega Urbanist option, $20 or more, and then you'll be having access to a postcard club if you choose to accept. Otherwise, you can become a mega Urbanist even if you don't want to receive a postcard. That's okay. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Yes, there were so many awesome things, so many amazing memories. I just mentioned the Delphi cave. Yes, there's a crazy amount of great memories here. Sometimes these memories will pop up over time. Yeah, I have 2 prints of New York City, says Janice. Awesome. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Salute, cin cin, viva, as all the Italians like to say in different regions. From Venezia, beautiful Piazza San Marco, here in one of the most beautiful cities I've seen in the world, one of the most interesting cities I've seen in the world. Everyone, I'll see you Thursday. I'll tell you the time when I'll be going live on Thursday. There'll be a place where there's structures, people, and those people happen to wear clothes as well. So, see you soon on Thursday. Keep being awesome, and always keep on exploring. Arrivederci, amici. Arrivederci amici, buonanotte!